Greetings, fellow citizens of Gotham, and Joker 2 has now released. And I am very disappointed actually. But if you are somebody that's not watched Joker 2 yet, because I will not be watching this movie again, please do not watch this video because this video is going to have a ton of spoilers. I'm going to be breaking down my thoughts about the movie, what worked, what did not work for me, and overall the movie, and whether or not I feel there should have been a sequel or not. But if you have watched the movie, be free to stick around because I will be breaking down what I feel about this movie, and oh boy, I got a lot to say. So, this movie was a huge waste of time, I will say, because none of it makes sense. It is very hard to make a standalone Batman villain without Batman in it because none of it makes sense. Because without Batman in here, it is very hard to have a sense of heroic hopefulness, I guess I can say. Now, I get it. This movie and the first Joker film took place in the 80s, so they wanted like Batman out of the picture because they wanted to do a character study of how this new character Arthur Fleck became the comic book villain known as the Joker, which you guys are seeing right here. And so let's get this out of the way. So basically the movie begins with a Looney Tunes intro, basically showing, what happened at the end of the first movie. Because if you guys don't remember, at the end of the first movie, Joker was actually going to go take his own life. But instead, because Merv Brooklyn was talking crap about him, he's like, all right, screw this. I'm going to go shoot him in the head. And a bunch of crazy stuff happened after that. Bruce's parents get killed in a way that I didn't really like. Makes sense, I guess. But me personally, I would much prefer them not have the Waynes killed. But the more I think about it, it made sense because of, all right, this takes place in the 80s. We do want to see the Waynes killed in this movie. And I kind of didn't really feel bad what happened to Waynes. Although Thomas Wayne was the only one that was kind of corrupt in this movie. So maybe Martha wasn't involved in this, but I don't know. But anyways, and it basically shows that the shadow side of Joker took over Arthur, basically, and which is why he did things he did. And so the movie basically starts where Arthur, is taking pills, and his laughing condition actually starts kicking in, and basically they tell him that, he's going to go to trial and be given the death penalty because of the horrible crimes he committed 2 years ago, because this takes place 2 years after the events of the first movie, which makes sense. And basically, his lawyer says, no, that's not who you are. That was 2 years ago. And you have to confess to them that's not who you are anymore. And Arthur's very quiet in the next 40 minutes, which I actually bought this because I'm like, okay, so maybe that's him pretending to like he's somewhat normal, I guess, and that's why he's not saying much. But that's not the case at all. And so we get introduced to Lady Gaga's version of Harley Quinn, which she makes up a backstory of where she has a very similar past compared to Arthur, where her parents abused her repeatedly, and so she burnt her parents, basically. So I kind of bought the idea, and so okay, I actually like where this movie is going. How bad can I be? But some people got worried and was like, okay, cool, if this is a musical, but I really hope this doesn't destroy for what the first film does of what drove Arthur to become the clown prince of crime. Oh, it does, but more on that later. So they wanted to make this movie basically a musical for whatever reason, and I'm just gonna say this: the music just does not fit for what this movie was supposed to do. It does not fill the story for what this film was trying to do. It does not have you feel sorry for Arthur. In fact, it makes Arthur like a wasted character from the first movie. And all I have to say is this movie fails in so many different levels. And so yeah, and if this was a play instead of a movie, I probably wouldn't mind it as much, but because it's a movie, this movie was very cringy. And so yeah, and basically, so when the court scenes actually do happen, the lawyer is basically talking to everybody that Arthur knows. So the doctor that would give Arthur his medication a lot, and all that, and basically told him, told the lawyer everything that happened, and yeah, and then basically we get introduced to the character that Arthur thought she had a relationship with when it wasn't even real. And we basically get intel that basically the next door neighbor met Arthur's mother and basically said that he had a weak laugh, he was nothing, he was pathetic, and all these nonsense. So basically we actually know, so now we have more of a reason why Arthur killed his mom. Now, I don't agree with it personally, because I do not condone people killing me personally, but that being said, so yeah, and the only musical scene that I actually appreciated was the scene when Joker actually brutally beats the judge to death by smacking his head with a hammer. That was actually the only scene that felt, and if I really wish that happened in real time, but most of these musical scenes you see in this movie, they don't even happen in real time. Most of these scenes only happen in his mind. So anyways, back to Harley. So basically Harley lied to Arthur. Basically, all the scenes that we so basically the story that she made up was actually fake. She basically just turned herself into Arkham to see Arthur, because Harley actually says to him, be the real you, be the Joker, basically, where the lawyer is like, no, you need help, and people in the courtroom are saying, it's actually a split personality. He's faking his mental illness, which I'm gonna say, if that were the case, why didn't you even explore that in this movie? Okay, if Arthur has a split personality and that's why he did the things he did, why didn't you explore that in this movie? It makes no sense. And this movie has an arc of where Arthur Fleck stops becoming the Joker, which I'm going to get to that in a minute. And so, yeah, and so basically we have a scene where Mr. Puddles says, which that was actually the only times I ever laughed in this movie, where he says, Mr. Puddles, and which was pretty funny. Basically, he talks to Joker talks to Mr. Puddles of why he killed Randall. If you guys don't remember, Randall is actually the guy who bullied Arthur, where he brutally murdered him in his apartment in the first film. And he starts crying by this point because he says, "You're the only one who did not make fun of me. You were actually nice to me. But because you killed him, I've not been able to sleep since then." And you can feel for him in this scene because, to be fair, that traumatized him. And the reason the cops were chasing him because, you know, he actually called the police and told them what happened. And I don't know why, but I don't know why Joker changed his voice. I guess he was trying to be the Joker, I guess, but whatever, I guess. And so that's the only time that was one of the best scenes because it was written well and it actually gave a reason, maybe, and why Joker is a horrible and sadistic maniac. And so basically, Joker in that scene starts blaming people. He starts blaming the guards, which, to be fair, the guards are pretty huge douchebags anyways. And so after that, he gets sent back to Arkham, and the guards start punching him. They start throwing him against the wall, and I can't say it because of YouTube. They raped him. If you guys know what I mean. Which, I understand these movies are R-rated films. Why did you need to put that in the film? There's no reason to put that in the movie. And after that, they put him in a cell, and one of the inmates started laughing and supporting for what Joker said or did, and they actually killed one of the inmates, and they have no consequence in their actions at all. So, I don't know. This film overall was just very disappointing and did not even feel like a Joker movie to begin with. Which people argue that the first film did not feel a Joker movie. I would actually argue it is a Joker movie, but it's an origin movie how Arthur Fleck descends into madness to become the comic book villain known as the Joker. But I don't know. So anyways, and then near the end, Arthur starts to feel remorse of all the things he did because he feels that every time he makes a choice as Joker, he gets a consequence for it. Which I'm going to tell you guys right out the bat. Joker does not care about you or anybody. He does not care if he kills a loved one. He does not care if he burns a building to ash. He does not care if he kills a 9-year-old little kid. He doesn't care. He loves torturing and killing thousands of innocent people, and he loves to be an agent of chaos, jester of genocide. He does not care. It is out of character for him to just feel remorseful because he's the freaking Joker, people. Come on. Why? Like the whole thing I was hoping for. Who is he as the Joker? The scene in his mind when he's brutally beating the judge mercilessly. Like, I want to see more of that. How does he fully become the Joker? How sick and twisted does he become? I would have better when he like blows up and kills like a bunch of people in the courtroom scene and kills the judge. That would have made things even better. Instead of him just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be Joker more. Like, no, bro, just no. So anyway, while we're wrapping up, so at Arkham, the courthouse gets blown up. Harvey Dent, which by the way, yes, Harvey Dent is in this movie. I forgot to mention that, but I am wrapping things up. So courthouse gets blown up. Harley Quinn, disowns them because, no, you chose not to be Joker. Our fantasy that we wanted to do together is no longer. And so she sings and or there's like, no, please stop singing, and all of this. And so, please take him to Arkham. One of the inmates that we saw briefly in this movie actually basically they tell him a joke, said, what happens if a psychopath, does this and whatever, and stabs him to death, and Arthur dies. And one of the inmates start carving their mouth, so basically like the Heath Ledger Joker, and basically becomes the next Joker. Like, what? No! And I'm sorry, people, there's a story going around that this takes place in the same universe as the Dark Knight trilogy. No! It does not fit with the same movie, people! Like, Joker... my gosh. Hello? So, did Harvey Dent get blown up twice? No, it does not make sense. They're two different continuities. It will not fit at all. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm done. I don't know if this is my best reviews or not. It was a very cringeworthy film for me. This movie just shows that this movie did not need a sequel, nor maybe the first film didn't even need to exist to begin with, but I don't know. This makes me want to rewatch the first movie now, but very cringeworthy. So, what my rating for this movie deserves a 4 out of 10. That's right. For my favorite Batman villain known as the Joker, the writing was terrible. The musical aspects did not fit or move the story at all. Harley was not likable. The only good scenes was the courtroom scene with Mr. Puddles, and when Joker brutally beats the judge to death in his mind. But that's it. Anyway, guys, I'm done. In the comments below, are you interested to see this movie? And so, what did you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you love it? Are you someone like me that just feels this movie was a wasted opportunity and was like one of the worst movies we've seen this year? Or did you like? And everyone, please be kind of considerate to one another. If you like it, no, I'm not gonna hate you for it. I personally did not enjoy this movie. I'm not gonna buy this on DVD. I'm not gonna see this again. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. God bless and happy gaming. Or sorry, God bless and have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you guys very soon with something DC related.